Mine would the one I would have taken away would probably be the saddle, because I was just sitting on that for 6 hours. It is so sore. Like, it's so sore, just sitting on it constantly, getting off every 15 minutes doing stretches. And then in the end, it was just jumping off. When you were jumping off, your legs were so numb. So it was kind of like that, yeah. Yeah, so that was the prop I would have taken away.
Probably the original needle, because actually I didn't use the original one very often. They actually gave me a rubber one that I would sort of have because they don't want it to get damaged, and it could really hurt someone if I was to, I don't know, but
Stab
it could, yeah, stab someone. But yeah, I think because I don't have very many props, I think, but because it's such a big part in Arya's role, it's what sort of starts the whole thing going. And because it's the only thing she has left by the end, the only thing she's got left of home, I think it's not just a big part to Arya. I think I used it an awful lot, and now it's a big part to me too. It'll be a nice reminder of all the things that happened, even if it doesn't go any further than just the 2 seasons. I'll still have that if I'm allowed it. But yeah, it'd be nice.
My favourite thing would be my dragonfly necklace. I'm not sure if anyone noticed, but I had a dragonfly necklace kind of throughout the whole of the first season until Joffrey gave me the Lannister necklace. And then towards the end of the first season, when I kind of realised that the Lannisters aren't quite as nice as I first thought they were, she kind of starts wearing this dragonfly necklace again, and it kind of keeps her grounded. She remembers where she came from. She remembers her father and her mother and how it was kind of a family unit back in Winterfell. And it's kind of a reminder for me as well, having Sean there and being in scenes with Michelle and Maisie and all the rest of the Stark family. And sad, but it's what I would like to take away with me, if they let me.
Stealing.
I'm really pleased about you, Maisie, because I designed that sword. Yeah, needle's mine. Excellent. Yeah, because that was the thing, because I did the pilot stuff as well, and a lot of the pilot stuff, a lot of the weaponry I designed, so I'd like to run away with ice, because it looks phenomenal when you see it in reality. I mean, I remember when Tommy Dunn, the armourer, came in with a selection of swords, and I was looking at this lineup of stuff that I designed, and ice wrapped in a wolf skin. I mean, oh my god, that thing is brilliant. So that's what I would like, yeah.
I think I would have liked to have taken ice with me as well, because I just love the idea of having a sword that's as tall as me. I think that would be so cool. Instead, I get my useless, broken wooden sword.
They let me keep one.
Yeah. Well, we get breaking so many of them. So, but apart from that, I really would have liked to have taken my stunt double home, because it was the most surreal thing to have seen. This guy with a black curly wig, dressed like me. I mean, I'd never really got over that. So I was really determined that he wasn't going to get on screen.
Yeah.
I think anyone with a stupid curly wig. I have to say, but many times people think I wear a wig anyway, so I guess it's not. No disrespect to the guy about 8 rows down with the curly hair. Right.
Curly mafia or what? Okay, let's get a few questions from the ladies and gentlemen of the audience. Someone has a question, so just... Yes?
Could I have a question for William, please? Just about needles, since you said you designed it. Why is it that it doesn't have a sheath for most of the time? Because that would probably help to stop stabbing people when you're carrying it around.
Needs it through the
Well,
luggage.
it was a really long day. And got to the scene where oh, I feel like an idiot now. But where Arya kills the stable boy, and there was we had to wrap up that day, and it was really late. You can't tell on camera, but it was dark, very dark at that time. So we'd been waiting around all day, and finally got around to the scene, and I was kind of nervous about it because I wanted it to look good, and there's like a lot of different things going on, different swords they have to keep swapping in and out with the blood and all that stuff. So it was pretty hard, but after every shot, everyone would come up to me and say, "Oh, can you do this differently next time? Can you do that? Can you do it?" So I was just like, "Oh my god, okay." So I kept forgetting to take the scabbard with me, and I feel like an idiot, but I kept forgetting to take it with me, so they just said, "Okay, forget it, we won't have it." So that's why I don't have it anymore. But it's been such a pain because I have to keep having it in my belt, so it is a bit annoying, but it was a long day and everyone keeps saying everything, so sorry guys. But yeah, that's why we don't have it. That's why we don't have it. But it's such a lovely scabbard too, so it's really annoying. And they always have the original inside it, so whenever they get it out, I was like, "Oh, I could have you right now, but no." But yeah, that's basically why we don't have it anymore. But we do actually have it, but not on camera. So yeah, that's the story.
Thank you.
Question? On. Yes, front row.
Some of you said that you hadn't read the books, and I was just wondering why, because it was me. I will be very curious to find out what happened to my character.
I think it's not in a story like way, if you get what I mean. But I think, as we were saying earlier, to adapt a book to a script is very hard, and not changing the story, but things will change, and but not physically change, but in your head they'll change because they're bringing it to life, and it might not be as practical as everyone would have thought at the beginning. So we can't have 40 horses and a huge carriage. And I think after talking to my mum, when we had to go ahead for our first season, she read through the book again. And then that just really confused her because when she got to the script, she couldn't remember what was in the books, what was in the script, what was in the script, what was in the book, and it got really confusing. So I think I'm not the biggest reader either. So, I feel like an idiot, but no, I'm not the biggest reader either. So, and Mum said that it was hard to choose between the two, or switch between the two even. So that's basically why I didn't read the books, but I might do in the future.
Do you know what happens to Arya?
Yes, I know all the story, but I haven't read it myself. So yeah.
Sorry.
Look on.
Yeah, I've read my chapters. You know, because I said this earlier that you know, the other people's chapters, the point of views might have been a bit too explicit for me because I was only 13 when I started filming. So I kind of read my chapters, and my mum read the rest of the books, and she kind of filled me in, not with too much detail on what was going on. But the scripts are my kind of go-to point rather than the books, because it is just an adaptation. It's not literally the books
brought to life.
Yeah, brought to life. It's just an adaptation. So yeah, scripts are my go-to.
That's basically quite.
It can be really confusing. I just had my first week of rehearsals. I'm doing a production of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest at the moment, and of course we've all seen the film, and we've obviously read the script, and we've got the book to go to. But it's amazing how much we kind of go around in circles in rehearsals, because we go, yeah, but this is happening now. But that's because we remember what happens in the book. but actually we've got the script, you know, the play, Del Wasserman's version of it, and it sometimes can just get confusing. It's a very delicate and fine tightrope to walk sometimes, you know. And of course, sometimes if you can use something to illustrate something a little clearer, or maybe because of the way you're doing the production, it can help you, then sometimes we feel, you know, we pinch stuff from the book. But yeah, sometimes it is a little bit like putting a square peg into a round hole. It's a tricky thing sometimes.
I think, I think for any of the design department, it was important to read the book because it kind of filled in a lot of information that we talked about this earlier, that you see on screen rather than actually hear somebody talking about. And for me, it was important to embed myself in the world that we were going to start creating. And so I would understand when anybody came and asked me, you know, to design this or do that or draw this or storyboard up this sequence, because I would have to get a feeling of what all these characters were. I kind of like to know what that background was, even though I know the scripts. You know, the scripts do change it. I mean, the scripts are much more to the point. You're not getting lost in any kind of, you know, it's like what Tom Bombadil from Jesus, Lord of the Rings. Thank God we didn't have to suffer through that. The point is that, you know, it's just useful artistic information, and then you go with the scripts all the time. I mean, this season, it's the scripts I'm reading because that's what I have to work from.